What's up, kiddos? I'm sorry I am not in class today, but you should be able to get everything done. If not, totally fine. But if you do, then you will just read on Epic whenever you are done. Okay. So first thing first, the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna have a quiz over chapters 1 through 10 of Hatchet. Super easy questions, guys. Where was Brian going and why? What happened to the pilot while they were flying? Super easy questions. So that is slides 3 through 10. Okay. All you do is you just do the same thing, what we've done before, is just highlight your answer. Okay. Remember, you just go over it with the cursor, and then you go over to right here where it says highlight color, highlight it in whichever color. Okay, that's how you circle your answer, is by highlighting. Okay, once you finish the quiz, slide 11 is where you're going to go next. Okay, so you're going to listen to chapters 11 through 12 of Hatchet. Do not go any farther. Just listen to 11 through 12. These chapters are kind of important. Okay, especially chapter 12, because you're going to see Brian starts to go through a pretty major change. And that's actually something I'm going to ask you a question about further down on the slides. 12. So what you're going to do here is you're going to list 5 of the problems or challenges Brian has faced. Okay, I gave you number 1. So, for example, one of the challenges or one of the main problems is the fact that his parents are getting a divorce. Okay, we know that this has clearly caused some issues in Brian's life. He attributes him being in the wilderness and being stuck out there to his parents getting a divorce. He would not be out there if it weren't for the divorce. So 5 problems or challenges that he has faced while being in the woods, or whenever he was on the plane. What kind of challenges? Really think about that one. Okay. Next one, listen to the link below and answer the question. So this comes from chapter 12, I believe. Pretty sure it was 12, where he starts talking about the change. So I recorded myself talking about it. So I want you to, underneath this, first thing you want to do is click on the link and listen to it. It's only about a minute or 2 minutes long. And it's just me reading. It says, what has caused, or after you listen to it, you're going to answer this question. What has caused Brian to change from a city boy to being one with nature and what is around him? So how has he changed? What about him has changed? Why has he had to make this change? What has caused him to change? What is going on in his life? What's happening to him currently, him being in the wilderness? What's happening that he has to change? Think about it, guys. If he didn't change, he probably wouldn't survive. So think about all the things that are happening that is causing him to change, okay? And the last thing you're going to do is you're going to build a bow and arrow. Clearly, you're not really building one, but what you're going to do is on this slide 14, you're going to list below 4 things from the wilderness you would use to create a bow and arrow. You can always list more than 4, guys. If you come up with more than 4 things to build a bow and arrow, that's totally fine. If you don't want to list them, you could also just post pictures from things in the wilderness that you could use. For example, my thought process was, okay, so a bow and arrow, think about it. How would you make the bow? How would you make the arrow? Clearly, an arrow would be a stick, and you would have to use some sort of, something hard to make the point on the tip of it, okay? Also, you could just take an arrow, or you could take a piece of stick and you could whittle it, okay? So what you need to do is you need to list, or like I said, post pictures of the things that you would use in the wilderness. Think about where Brian is to create a bow and arrow. Okay. And then the last part is, how would you put it all together? Explain how you would put the bow and arrow together. So for example, I would put the bow and arrow together by using whatever, how are you going to put this bow and arrow together? How are you going to use it to where you can actually use it? All right. And then the very last thing is, there's links to Sora. And that's it, guys. To Epic. Please make sure you get all your work done and have a great day. Be good, guys.